Thank you for that kind introduction. Glad to be here once again. This isn't the first time we've been on Hyper Games Conference. We've been here before. Always fun being here again, and we hope to be here in the future as well. Some of you may know from the past. Some of you are probably just, hearing me talk, seeing me talk about who we are, what marbleverse is, what we've done so far, and we plan to do in the future. So I'll start my speech by giving a brief summary of what happened most recently, and I'll move on from there. And before I start, I'd like to formally apologize for Buddish. He was supposed to be here alongside with me as well to deliver the speech, but unfortunately he's very busy right now. We're in the midst of a new hit game, hopefully, and he's working on that game as we speak. So we were established in 2019, 3 founders, Buddish, Arman, and Shema. All of them come from various different backgrounds. All of them have nearly 10+ years of experience in game development, art design, game design, in all sorts of various fields. We have a total of 12 people working at our company, and we basically love what we do. So these are our founders. Our CEO, Buddish, is in charge of basically, aside from all the managerial stuff, is in charge of leading the casual/hyper-casual side of things at our office. Our CTO, also co-founder Arman, and myself, we work on Marbleverse, which is the Web3 side of things, and Shema runs everything related to art. The entirety of both team sides, everyone and everything related to art reports to Shema. So I'm going to be focusing more on what Arman and myself do at the company at Aden Games. Just a brief rundown of our summary of what we've done so far, who we are, where we come from, and what we are doing. Established in 2019, did our first casual mid-core-ish games in 2020, did our first major global hit in 2021 with Gold Rush, where we had over 10 million downloads. 2022 was the year we decided to form an entirely different Web3 team around Arman, who's our CTO, and decided to go into the blockchain industry. We were lucky enough to kind of catch the upwards momentum before the crypto market crashed, and we successfully launched Marbleverse, and I'll go into detail later. And currently in 2023, we are working on 2 projects. Well, Weaponcraft Run is the most recent hyper-casual hit that we're expecting, which is why Buddish isn't here today. Which is a good thing, he's not here, I'm trying to give out some information, but I like the fact that he's working and I'm having fun going to conferences and talking to you guys where Buddish is slaving out the office, which is hilarious to me. And Dungeons of Lootguard is our mid-core project that is currently in its MVP stage, also led by Buddish. So these are just data. This is just data statistics. We had 10 million downloads, 20K active users, and we placed 6 on US top charts soon after releasing Gold Rush, which was published with Zynga back then. Now we're working with Rollic, as you know. Within a week, it took around a week to go all the way up to the 6th place on the top free games chart in the US. Our first major success. Weaponcraft Run is a hit in progress, I'd say. Go ahead and download it. It's on the App Store if you're curious. Take a look. It'd be amazing if you guys would also take a look at it as well. 2023 was a good year for us, even though we're very early in the year right now. We started developing this game in February, I think, or maybe March. But come April, we did all the tests and we decided, all right, this game looks good. The data came back, the CPI was good, the retention was off, record retention rates compared to Rollic stats. We had very good playtime on top of that. So all the signals were, showing up, this is going to be a hit. And then we decided to just pump more money into publishing and marketing. And now we have nearly 20K, 20K daily active users and 500,000 plus downloads on both platforms, and it's going strong. We made it all the way up to 2nd place on the US racing genre top chart, and we're still climbing. But that's not the topic today. Today I'm going to talk to you about what we've done and what we plan to do with marbleverse, which is the blockchain game that we also work on. So, like I said, some of you might know this, but I'm just going to give a very quick rundown. We sold 20,000 NFTs on launch, $250,000 in token IDOs. We reached $1 million of Rolium market cap, and we had around $500,000 worth of secondary market trades, which we get royalties, by the way, which is awesome. The target audience of a Web3 game is crucial. When we decided to go into the blockchain industry, we realized that there was one major error, and gaming companies are targeting non-gamers. When you look at Web3, most people think about making money, play and earn, cryptocurrency. They look at the game as an investment tool. What we're trying to do right now with marbleverse is trying to kind of break that image and turn marbleverse into an actual game. It started out as a GameFi app, very simple, just a browser-based. You go into a website, you buy an NFT, you click on the race, and that's it. That was the entire experience that we offered back in 2022. Now we're gamifying that, and I'm going to talk about that just briefly. But basically, the idea behind the gamification process is to kind of break the idea that marbleverse is an investment tool and implement the fact that this is a game first. So what you want to do is make the earn part of a play and earn, or play to earn, or mint to win, or whatever you want to call it. Make the earn part the secondary motivation in a gamer. That way, you'll have a solid, long-lasting community foundation on which you can build upon. So, what goes into a gamification process? When you think about a Web3 project, you think about NFTs, you think about utilities, rewards. This side, everyone knows about it, right? You give NFTs, you make people spend money, then those people earn some money. They like the fact that they earn money, then they want to spend more money. We're trying to give more utilities to our NFTs right now. We're increasing the rewards, and we're also trying to implement this idea that our players are, so they're playing our game, they're earning our in-game currency, Rolium, that's what it's called. And with that Rolium, they can buy other NFTs that give them additional utility. The idea here is you got to implement the thought that the player is playing a game and getting a reward out of the blue for free, and with that reward, they get something feasible. That's what we're trying to implement. So we're adding marble evolutions, Marby evolutions. We're adding, I guess, these are just tiny little additional NFT utilities that we add, which is all on things that are already there. So it's not a huge amount of work for us, but the idea that the gamer is playing a game and earning something and using what he earned in that game to earn more sticks to that guy, and he plays your game for a really long time. Utility, we're offering utility. We're giving out rewards. We do collaborations within the ecosystem with a bunch of other projects. So far, we've given away over 172-ish, 170 plus NFTs, just random NFTs from other projects to our community. We do collaborations. We do Twitter giveaways, Discord giveaways, Gleam giveaways, Twitch, you name it, we have it. And that also provides us with a loyal player base as well, because they just kind of want to stick with us. We're always active, especially on Twitter. That's helped us out tremendously, which is going to lead me to my user engagement point. One of the biggest differences that I personally have had the experience of witnessing, I guess, compared to a Web 2 and Web 3 game is user engagement. On a Web 2 game or in a conventional game, you release a game, you found some bugs, you release a day one patch, write some patch notes, right? That's the end of the story, that's it. When it comes to Web3, that is most certainly not the case. You release a game and you're constantly on Discord, constantly talking to individually everyone. And there's always like a train of thought that's constantly in motion. You're going back and forth with your people, going back and forth with your community. It's so much interaction. Whereas with a conventional game, you never interact with your player base on a name basis, for instance. People know my name, people know who I am, people know where I live, people know what I do at the office, and they ask me specific questions, very niche questions about the project. So to even further solidify that user engagement, during our gamification process, we decided to, I guess, adopt a community-driven development approach. We're not necessarily a DAO, but some of the features that we got for the game, we got from our community. We got it from Discord. Someone names a suggestion, and we're like, you know what, that's a good plan, let's do it. I see that suggestion, I communicate with that person, and then I ask my chief engineer, Arman, is this reasonable? Can you do this? Can we do this? Can we give to them? Can we find a common ground between player, developer, and business manager? So I try to form that bridge, and that way the users feel like they're part of the company. They feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, which really inspires them to kind of stick with you. And the efforts show. Crypto has gone through horrendous crashes, I'm sure, as you all know, but we're still going strong. Our numbers are increasing. We've got near 2K on our Discord. Now we're going cross-chain, which I'm going to talk about very soon as well, which is only going to increase our number exponentially. And yeah, we're still going strong, and I think user engagement has been the best tool in that regard. We also implemented a game. We actually made a game. We're a gaming company, that's what we do. We've made over 100 games. Making game for us is not that big of a challenge. And we actually made a competitive, playable game mode. But the note that I want to highlight here is we made NFT integration into that game. So I wanted to show Twitter, but maybe I can show it later, or maybe if anyone's interested in seeing gameplay, swing by, I'll show it to you on my phone or on my laptop. It's not in this presentation. Our game is a marble racing simulation game, right? But there was no gameplay. What we did was we made a game where you spawn in a level, right, in the sky, clouds in the background, and you spawn on top of a ramp. You spawn on a level, and you're a marble, just a little, marble ball. And what you try to do is navigate through the level and reach the end goal, or the checkpoint, or the finish line in the shortest amount of time. And there are obstacles, there are moving platforms, there are hazards, traps, there are boosters, something that gives you super speed, something that gives you super jump. There's more than one way to finish the levels. You can take 5, 6 different shortcuts. Each shortcut reduces the time by a certain amount, etc. So we made it a play. One level, mind you. This was just a test, and the results were incredible. What people loved about it is the NFT integration part of it. So you can play as a guest, or you can sign in using your username and password that you can get on our site, without even getting your wallet connected to the game. And you can play with the marbles that you buy from any NFT market. Go to Ebisu's Bay, go to Minted, go to our own marketplace, go to Corgi Studio NFT, buy a marble. If you like a red one, buy a red one. If you like a shiny dragon-looking marble, buy that one. And we've integrated those marbles into the gameplay. So when you buy a marble, and when you connect your user ID, you can see the list of marbles that you own and play those levels with the marble that you chose. So that was really interesting for us, and people got really excited about that. And we're going to develop more levels into that as well in the future. Out of breath. The biggest thing, Twitch integration. That's going to officially turn Marbleverse into a fully fledged game. We're designing a bot right now that's going to stream the races 24/7. Currently, we have no streaming. We only have, like I said, you click on the race, you click join, then the computer simulates the race results in the background, and then it gives you the results. If you won, you get tokens. If you didn't, tough luck. But now we're adding Twitch integration. There's going to be a Twitch race going on 24/7. The robot's constantly going to run races. We're going to record all those races. And there's going to be race IDs, and users will be able to watch whichever race they want, whenever, from the comfort of their phones, at any given time. So those are the big steps that we are taking to turn a Web3 app, a GameFi app, into an actual game. And the reason behind this is, like I said, we want to focus on the game rather than the finance of it, which we believe is the formula to a successful blockchain game. That's about it. And, whoops. And we're also in dialogue with Polygon. How am I doing on time? I got like 10 more minutes? Sweet, awesome. This is going to take 5. Now, on the cross-chain things, we did a lot of research. Arbitrum has a lot of hype right now. If anyone's interested in the blockchain, I'm sure you've heard the name. Insane amounts of volume on Arbitrum currently. Polygon's always been there. Polygon's been reliable. You know, it's big, a lot of volume. Like, I think 12 times more volume than Kronos, which is the chain that we're located on. A lot of volume, a lot of transactions, a lot of wallets, active wallets per day on Polygon. Polygon's always been there. The reason why we didn't launch on Polygon is Marbleverse started out as a game, as a learn how project for us. It could have failed miserably, and that would have killed the reputation of our company. Thankfully, it didn't. Thankfully, it was a huge success. And we wanted to be like the first on a blockchain, and we're the first game on the Kronos blockchain, whereas Polygon already had games. Polygon already had competition that had more experience than us. But now we feel like we've matured enough. We know a lot more about blockchain development, about Web3 games, about the entire crypto ecosystem. And now we're ready to scale Marbleverse by going to Polygon. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're transferring the project from one chain to another. We're just allowing cross-chain progression, cross-chain elements. So this is going to be a win-win for Kronos and Polygon, and obviously for us. We're going to attract some users from Kronos to Polygon. We're going to attract some users from Polygon to Kronos. We're going to give Kronos OG holders additional utility, additional NFT, which is going to increase the value of the NFTs that we've already released, and so on and such forth. And yeah, that's the big plan right now. As for the strategy that we're following, mostly, you know, warm introductions go a long way. It's very difficult to send someone an email and say, hey, why don't you promote my project? Hey, why don't you give me a spotlight? Hey, why don't you do this? Hey, let's do an AMA. Nobody takes it seriously. If you're going, I mean, they'll take you seriously, but you know, your mail probably won't get read. Your request probably won't get seen. But we've established contact with some people at Polygon Labs. They were kind enough to take some time out of their day and meet with me. I told them about the project. You know, just like I'm presenting it to you right now, I presented them the project. I gave them all the info that they would have needed. And they were interested in it, and they said that they would help us out with marketing. They would make some warm introductions into some of the more popular markets out there for a spotlight, for an AMA on Twitter, podcast, whatever you name it. And yeah, that's going to be the strategy that we're going to be following. We're going to speak with Polygon Labs again, hopefully get some promotional materials on their side as well, get some warm introductions to the most popular NFT markets on Polygon, whether it be Magic Eden, OpenSea, whatever, you name it, we're going to be there. We're going to try to get as much as project highlights as possible in those ecosystems. And finally, it's not finalized yet, so I won't give the name, but we're also in the midst of working out a collaboration deal with a pre-existing game on on Polygon to kind of like, you know, do a giveaway, airdrop some NFTs to get people interested about the project. Yeah, that's how we're going to go about generating hype and making that transition to Polygon, or hopefully to scale Marbleverse to an even higher degree. That's basically all I have to say. Want to keep it brief, want to keep it short. Hopefully it wasn't too big of a problem for you. Hopefully you guys didn't suffer. I had a lot of fun being here. And I think I made decent time. If any of you have any questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. If not, I can take my leave. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks a lot for everything, for really being deep and detailed explanation how how different process of the game is going, it could became a part of the Web3, and I definitely agree about the game is the first. That's why, like, you know.
Yeah.
But regarding the Twitch, how you will solve the issue about like matching making and all things? How this process?
How are we going to solve the issue about what with Twitch?
Matchmaking, like I didn't understand about 24 hours non-stop racing. How's the round?
There's constant racing, but you don't actually control the marbles.
Okay.
So at its core, Marbleverse is a racing simulation game. You buy an NFT, you click on a race button, and the marble races for you. Each marble has an equal chance to win. Well, there are some intricacies, and there are certain strategies that you could implement to make sure that your marble, that you get the most out of your marble. That would take too long to explain.
Yeah, I was thinking it's active mode. That's why, like.
No, it's passive. You just click on a race, you click on a marble, you say race, you choose a track that you want to race it, and then your marble races on track X, Y, Z, whichever track you want to race on. The Twitch is basically going to give the feeling that you're part of what's happening instead of waiting for a computer simulation to run the results. You'll be able to see live how your marble is doing, but you won't necessarily be able to control it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking. Anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
So I wonder, how did the know-how building part did go for you?
Painful. Painful.
Yeah, I can imagine, but did you have any experienced teammates in the team that worked in the Web3 technology before?
We didn't have any teammates per se. We had people that we knew, that we trusted, that were already inside this ecosystem. And I'm talking way back, like back in 2019, actual OGs of the ecosystem. We had some mutual acquaintances from a DEX exchange. They really helped us out as well. They established our first contact. We contacted people from Ebisus, for instance, to promote the project initially. We also got in contact with a few other influencers, but this is just people's personal network that they used. It wasn't something that I had. I wasn't even on board back then. It wasn't something that we knew. But in terms of technical expertise, our CTO basically led the charge on this project, and he learned everything from scratch. Utility development was not common knowledge back then. Nobody knew what it was. We started doing research in 2020, I think. And yeah, then we launched, and things kind of went well, thankfully.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I think that's it. Awesome. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for giving me the time of your day. And yeah, hope to see you later. Cheers.